Hey guys, I'm back to talk about my deck. Sorry, I guess they're mowing the green space along the sidewalks. Well basically, deck quotes are outrageous. $10,000 just to frame it and put a top on. That's not railings, otherwise 14. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. Highest quote was the $33,000 for the steel deck. Of course, that also was with a pergola too, but $33,000. Oh my God! You know, it's probably like $5,000 worth of materials, and you know, just I don't know. That just seems kind of crazy, especially when we know my wife's coworker got a steel deck, and that's how we heard about those and the guy, and they paid $18 for theirs, which was basically the same size as ours, and off the ground the same height. So you know, 18 to 33, that's a hell of a lot of money. So what do we do? Well, also I want to update on the code. Well, the codes have been changed in the newer code. The older code for decks doesn't really specify anything about decks, about flashing. So by default, they didn't have to do it. Like how the deck builders have come out have basically said, yeah, just because it's not in the code doesn't mean it's done correctly. So just because there was no code at the time, de facto, they did it to code. Isn't that just convenient? You know. Oh, I did have the last guy say that if it is against the siding, I guess that was to code back then. But, you know, you can read up on decks. You can buy deck books. And you never do that. You never put it to siding. That's just not how you do it. It's not how you build decks. And even old timers I told about this, and same thing, they're like, you always use flashing. So I don't know, is it a Colorado thing? Is it classic home sucks, like I say? I think it's just they hire people that are unskilled, thus building their homes, charging money for. So in a way, yes, it is classic homes' fault. Whether there's a code or not, you should still build it correctly. You shouldn't, skimp on it, if you will. So anyways, classic homes in Colorado has a very bad reputation. You start talking to people, you find that out. So anyways, I'm going to continue this series, but we're going to fix stuff. I'll show you what I'm doing as I go along. So we removed the table that was here, put downstairs. See the spot over here. This is probably one of the thinnest spots right here. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna cut a chunk of this railing over here. I'm gonna put it in between the post and the wall. And that's already its separate little thing under there. And for the time being, temporary railing, no stairs. I'm going to remove all this decking. Yep, I'm going to remove all this myself, which is not hard at all. Why would I pay somebody big bucks to do that? I don't know. And then I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to build a temporary staircase, just like there. And it's going to come out 4x4 foot square that I could possibly reuse for when I do over there, and the stairs going down right here, and we'll call that good for the time being, so we can let the dog out, and the doggy door up here can be utilized if we need it. And I will start, getting rid of all of this material and probably reuse some of the 4x4 post for the time being. But Yeah, I might salvage some of the lumber for my workbench I was going to build in the garage. But we'll see. It's going to be a project. And yeah, hopefully this helps people with decks and what to look for and how to build them properly. And I'm just a do-it-yourselfer at this point because I cannot see spending $14,000 on a fucking deck. When I looked up just to frame this, $600 in pressure treated lumber, and you talk to these deck guys, they're like, well, if you use pressure treated lumber, that's going to probably be $3,000 worth of material. Maybe for the whole deck, but not for just for the framing. The framing's $600. I can go on HomeDepot.com, count the boards under there, and get the price. And that's the redwood. It's just dyed, pressure treated to be red. So that's kind of a joke too, because they say redwood. Well, yeah, it's just dyed red. It's not redwood. But anyways, that's where I'm at, and I'll bring you guys along for the ride and do a whole series on this. Why not? If it can help people out, especially if you're moving to Colorado, so please. Hey, so I'm back with my deck. I started undoing it. Clouds are awful, so I'm gonna maybe hold off, but just start taking out some screws, and it looks like they didn't really use deck screws, and of course a couple were just busted in. I don't know if there's any on the other side, but that's why you don't use those type of screws. These are what you use. Something like this called deck mate. Usually it's like a star drive system, you know, like that type of top, but they're different. And the reason why these are different is because A, it lets you create a pilot hole going into the board. Also, this part is a lot stronger. There's stronger metal than these type of fasteners, screws that all of us have made the mistake of using from hanging cabinets to whatever, and they typically will break off. They're a weaker metal. These will not break like that. Also, you notice the threads where you need it. So these are 2x4 boards, and going through that part right there doesn't need to be threaded. And you get the benefit of it doing a pilot hole, if you will, like a drill bit to put these in, versus those are threaded right up to the very tip. Not the same thing, not deck screws. Deck screws. Hey guys, I thought I would add a little bit more to the video just to show you the difference between the screws versus, when I'm outside. It's kind of hard to show you. So that's a deck screw. This is one out of the deck, which matches up to the grip right type fasteners. I mean, same length. I would say that's what they use. These are real cheap. Interesting thing, I was reading on the box, Phillips head, blah, blah, blah. All-purpose screw, ideal for attaching drywall to wood studs. Should not be used in treated lumber. Should not be used where surface rust is unacceptable. Well, yeah, obviously, it could rust. Well, Grip Right does make a better all-purpose screw, and they coat them. That's what they look like. This one's just really long, but they coat them. It's still not as good as the deck screw for strength. They can still snap off. It's very hard to snap one of these off. Now, by snap off, I mean you're drilling it in and it snaps off, or No, I was just removing it, but it didn't snap then. It was already in the board snapped. Yeah. You know, so that's why you don't use the grip right fasteners for holding things that are heavy like decks, because that's about the length of almost for the top board. So you know, it snapped in between because you know all decks kind of shift. So I wonder how many more are snapped, and that's why these deck screws, as I showed outside, but I can get a better picture, has that right there to be able to like drill a pilot hole in. And it also has those bumps for a smoother countersink, and it's just better metal. And then here's a grip right that's coated, and that's what that guy looks like. So I just wanted to show that closer to show you why they used the wrong screws. They just used the cheap old grip right fasteners for hanging drywall. Oh boy, these people. Anyways, guys, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.